looks at people in the church today, they judge them by the way they look. Judge them by the way they dress. Judge them by the way the car they pull in. They judge them by the house they live in. I'm glad Jesus never owned a thing down here. Jesus told him, he said, listen, be careful what you say about following me. He said, the birds have the trees and the foxes have the holes, but the Son of God has not even a place to lay his head. Let me tell you something. He didn't own nothing down here, but yet he left the splendors of glory to come down here, and through his poverty you and I may be rich. And listen, when he was preaching in Capernaum there, people noticed that because they got together and he preached the word unto them. And boy, no doubt it was noise, and no doubt when that roof started coming apart, no doubt the church service was just about to come to an end. Because some of them deacons are going, well, wonder who's going to pay for that right there. I wonder who's going to cover that back before we leave here tonight. See, we're worried about the buildings and we're worried about everything, but we're not worried about the souls out there dying and going to a devil's hell. We need to be worried about them souls out there. We need to be going and we need to be transporting them. Listen, if they don't want to come to our church, we'll take them somewhere else. As long as they're going to church somewhere, that's all that matters. They need to get in a Bible believing, Jesus teaching, Holy Ghost fire. I mean, they need to get in a church that's got the Holy Ghost, and when the Holy Ghost gets started, it'll cause you to do and say things that you ain't never done before, because he's in the house. You know, he's in this house. And you know, I couldn't do this if it wasn't for him. I wouldn't even try to ever get behind the sacred desk if it wasn't for the Holy Ghost of God. And you know, when Jesus looked down at that old boy and his friends there, no doubt, love and there was determination and hope. And let me tell you something, you got to have your hope in something tonight. The Bible said, listen, when you hope for something and you see it, you don't have to hope for it no more. No doubt they had hope if they got that boy to Jesus, he'd be made whole. And when he got made whole, they didn't have to hope no more, because he was made whole, because he got up and he took his bed and he walked out of there. And let me tell you something, it takes determination in every Christian's life. It takes determination in all the lost folks' life. They have to make it up in their mind. They have to make it up in their mind that they're determined to get to Jesus. And when you get to Jesus, whatever you have need of, you can find it there at the foot of Jesus. When he said, cast your cares upon me, for I care for you, he meant exactly what he said. You know what the Bible said there? That he said, thy sins be forgiven. And the old scribe started reasoning. You know, I've heard this in revivals before. Somebody gets saved in a revival, and as soon as you walk out the door, somebody look around and say, you think you got it? How long do you think they'll last? That ain't up to you and I to wonder how long it's going to last. That's up to them and Jesus. We need to pray for them, and they'll just get on the battlefield for the Lord, and they'll get out there strong and get on the front line for the Lord. And listen, take our shield of faith, take our helmet of salvation, take the breastplate of righteousness, and get out there and go to war. And go to war against the devil. You ain't going to war against the church down below you, one above you. And we're not going against church. If all churches around the world would come together in unity, which is love, listen, there wouldn't be no lost people out there, because there'd be so much love of the Lord in the churches that lost people wouldn't be able to sit around us. You know, the love of God. The love of God is all that's all we really got. Because Jesus said, what's a man profit if he gains the whole world and yet loses his soul? He said, what would he give in exchange for his soul? You know, friend, when life down here is through, and it's all said and done, all it's going to matter is if you've been truly born again. If you've been born again, my. Whew, glory, you'll join her to that throne up there. Don't matter what people says about you. It matters what the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords says about you. If we worried as much what the Lord thought about us as we do mankind, we'd live a lot closer to Him. And I'm talking about me right on down. Listen, we shouldn't be worried about satisfying man. We need to be satisfying Jesus. When you satisfy Jesus, you won't satisfy man. And if you satisfy man, you're not going to satisfy the Lord. Let me tell you tonight, as they come and get us a song ready tonight, I want you to think about something. Jesus was in the house The Bible said it was noise that he was in the house. It was noise here tonight at Keavy, Kentucky. Listen, we've had church tonight, and not because of me, not because of the singers, but because of the Holy Ghost of God. If you turn him loose, let him have his course in you, you can have church. It don't matter if it's in a bottom out there somewhere. So tonight, if you're out there listening by radio or watching by TV or internet or whatever you're doing tonight,